Good Friday afternoon or evening, wherever you might be. My name is Darren. I'm a co-host of a podcast called DevOps Paradox. And on Fridays when Victor and I are around, we do a live stream. Now, as you can see, I am here. Victor is not. So I'm sure he'll be here in a few minutes. We'll figure that out when we get here. I hope everybody's having a great, hopefully, start of the holiday season. It's getting close, at least, anyway. And we're going to take a look at some of the news. There's a lot today, so I'm going to go ahead and get in. In fact, here is Victor now. There you go.
Here I am.
Okay. Just use that camera today. Don't switch over.
I know. That's why I tried. I restarted computer fully. Nothing is running. No Docker. No browsers even, except one tab, and it still doesn't work. I don't know what is going on. So from now on, you will see me like this. Yeah. Enjoy.
Well, we have snow today. We have a candy frame. There we go.
Yeah.
I loaded in some things just to see. Let's see if this actually works. Does that like and subscribe actually work? Let's see. Hey, look. Like and subscribe. I have new buttons now. That's not a good thing.
Next episode, you should generate it with Bio, and let's see how it goes.
Oh, I could do that. I didn't even think about that. You have to remember to turn them off. They don't play out. Or they do play out. Okay, let me go ahead and share this because there's a lot. In fact, I left some stuff off. I will call out a couple of things as we go through. I don't actually have the items for it. This week's episode, 328, with Alex from Upload Care, talking about the real cost of build versus buy. So if you haven't listened to it yet, please do. Next week is just me and Victor again. In fact, I think the rest of the year is just me and Victor. Just because we're heading into the holiday season. K Squared, good to see you. Let's talk about some of our friends that have been on. We had Port on back at 261. They did a 100 million raise this week of Series C at 800 million valuation, almost to that point of 1 billion. Congratulations.
Almost. Very good. Congrats.
So when you see us next, that's more than Taco Bell money. I mean, this is like Chipotle money, right? This is a step up than Taco Bell. So congratulations to them. Harness, I will say, they did get 240 million. Goldman Sachs, 200 million, 40 million of a mix of bag of other people at a valuation of 5.5 billion, if I remember correctly. So a good week of making money there. And really, we talked about 100 million, we talked 240 million. Really, the biggest one this week was Confluent getting acquired by IBM for $11 billion.
You know what is the common thing in those three announcements?
What?
You have only one guess.
AI.
Yeah.
It's all AI.
All three are pitching AI and getting money. I'm not judging whether that's a good thing or bad thing, but that's the current situation.
Yep. And I decided, let's go back and look in time of what IBM has purchased over the years. We won't go back to 1889. We don't need to go back that far. But I do want to go back to when what I consider the first major acquisition, which was Red Hat in 2019. Well, actually, that's not true. There were a lot of other major acquisitions, but the first big number acquisition. Let's see if I can get it because it was at the very end of this. Yeah, Red Hat, $34 billion. Nobody else was even close to that.
Yeah.
But if we look from 2019 on, there's a lot of not disclosed. What was interesting, though, is I saw Boxboat, which I had worked with some people that were working for Boxboat. I didn't even know they had been acquired. So it's like, oh, okay, there you go. So there's lots of not disclosed. This is take a lot more time to go through. But then we take a look at HashiCorp, $6 billion. We have some more news about HashiCorp today.
Okay.
And then Confluent at 11 billion. So really, this is the second highest buyout, at least from a Wikipedia article. And, it's just one of those things. And where did Confluent, well, Confluent didn't come out of that. What is Confluent about? It's about Kafka. Where did Kafka come out of? LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So congrats to everybody making a lot of money this week. Or at least somebody made money. The early VCs made lots of money this week. Let's put it that way. CNCF now has the schedule out for EU. We won't click all through it, but I did see that you and Whitney are doing a session, an actual session, not a pre-session. What do they call those?
Yeah.
Or rejects. You might be doing a reject session too.
No,
But
so there is rejects, there is colos, and then or day zero or whatever they call
Yeah.
it, and then there is actual.
actual. So you have one actual for sure.
Yes.
Okay. But I saw you twist it. So if in case you didn't know, Victor and Whitney have been doing a series over on DevOps Toolkit about not ask me anything. What's the phrasing?
Choose your own adventure.
Choose your own adventure. Yes. But now
Yes.
you've modified it.
Yes. We are also hoping for 100 million in of VC money. So we chose to put AI into the title. Let's see whether it works. Do you think it will work?
I don't know.
I can go with $1 million.
I don't know.
I'm cheap.
There you go. So that's coming up in March 23rd to March 26th. I can't believe that is just 4 months
It's nothing.
away.
It's gonna wake up after New Year's Eve and almost there. Yeah.
3 months, not 4 months.
Yeah.
It's 3 months away. Okay. Anyway, that's happening. Do I want to? Okay, so I don't have the article about the HashiCorp thing. We're talking about HashiCorp. Or actually, no, I have another HashiCorp thing that we'll get to. But then I have another one to add on top of that. The big news for this week, though, to me, besides the money, was the Agentic AI Foundation under the Linux Foundation.
Yeah.
There are 3 projects. Can I rephrase this? There are 3 different flavors of Markdown that are now a project under.
I mean, MCP is a protocol. So okay. Goose is actually, unless I'm mistaken, I haven't used it much. That's basically a terminal agent.
It is an agent, yeah.
So, and then there is one Markdown, in all fairness.
In fairness.
But
here's
they all use Markdowns, yes.
correct. Yeah, so it's platinum, and we'll look at the other 2 tiers. So if we look at the founding platinum members, there are 8. One is Block. Block is the company behind Goose.
Yeah.
OpenAI is behind AgentsMD. MCP is Anthropic. So these
Correct.
3. And then we have AWS, Google, Microsoft. So the big 3 hyperscalers. Cloudflare is effectively becoming a hyperscaler now.
Yeah, yes.
And then Bloomberg, I don't know why they did it other than to pay. We'll look at the pricing of this in just a minute. Let's look at all the members, though. Let's because it gets interesting. So there's our 8 gold members: Cisco, Diagrid, which we had on, Datadog, JetBrains, Okta, IBM, Docker, Oracle, Twilio, Snowflake. I mean, all of these are fairly Shopify. Like, all of these are like tech companies. Okay, Shopify is a tech company, but it's
I count it as a tech company. Yeah.
And then Silver, tons of names you've never heard of in the past, except for Mirantis. And I believe there were a couple
I heard Uber. That sounds
Uber,
familiar.
yeah. Okay, Uber, SUSE, Stacklock we have heard of. Solo.io.
Yeah.
But not as many, right? Now, here's
Actually, I think that's a quite big list for the day one. I think this is actually bigger than I expected.
correct. But let's
In a
talk
positive sense.
Yeah. So they talk about benefits, but let's look at the pricing. Platinum is $350,000. It's already sold out. Gold memberships are $200,000. So remember, we had 8 in the platinum. We had 15 to 20 in the gold, and then silver membership was $10,000, which you and I can probably afford to put our logo up there, right?
But we won't.
But we won't. To me, this is nothing more, and this is I'm in and out on AI depending on what day of the week it is. This is nothing more than a money grab by the Linux Foundation.
It is.
It's like, oh, let's create a foundation for these things, and let's charge people to be able to vote on what?
Exactly. I mean, because what is in that foundation? Like Goose, fair enough, right?
Yeah.
MCP,
He's okay.
fair enough. But and what was the third? The Markdown
AgentsMD.
file.
Yeah, Markdown.
Kind of. And not a big one. I mean, I haven't checked, but I doubt that there is more than 2 paragraphs of text that specify agent MD.
Yeah,
Right.
and to me, I'm thinking about MCP. to me, that's more of a standards thing. I think more IETF than a foundation.
Now,
It's
in all fairness, it's very actually important. The only really truly positive thing I see in this is MCP itself, because MCP is now critical. And nobody should be able to do a rug pull or anything, nasty with it for the sake of doing it. It's not that the world would end, because you can continue using MCP even MCP servers, even if somebody changed the protocol. But that should be in a foundation. So now, do we have infinite number of sponsors so that we have foundation around MCP today? It's fishy. That's fishy.
Yeah.
Right?
And not to mention, Google has A2A, which is the competing spec to MCP, right?
Yeah. It's very, very strange that the Platinum member did not contribute it.
Or is A2A and MCP going to be the next Betamax and VHS? Or Ultra HD and Blu-ray, right? Is that just what it is?
We'll see. We'll see.
But anyway, I'm sure there'll be more to talk about later. This is a whole article. And by the way, all the links are already down in the description. I was able to remember to do that early today. So this goes through of why they did it. So it's just or why Anthropic put it in. And MCP is only a year old. Still, you got to keep that in mind. It's just so new. A couple of things from Google this week: putting the DORA AI Capabilities Model to work. I haven't read it all, but just know that, just like everything else, DORA is getting the AI treatment.
Yeah, if DORA is focused on metrics in companies and everybody's focused, that's everybody's focus. It makes perfect sense.
Yeah. Well, to understand team profile, value stream mapping, again, value stream mapping, plus, minus, whatever, it acts as a force multiplier, or AI as an AI force multiplier. We've talked about this in the past of, okay, if we put AI right at the very front, problem is we're putting AI at the developer, which isn't the very front. But we don't put AI further down the pipe, it's not going to help a whole lot. We're going to keep backing up. So the VSM is going to help understand, okay, where are our fail points?
And that's one of the potential explanations for my theory that I cannot validate, that AI is not lifting up in ops yet, at least not in a significant way. It is very, very, very used and liked among developers. And that's precisely because of those processes, right? Because developers write code. That's what they do most of the time. And there are not even close to number of restrictions or processes in that part, in writing code. I'm not saying now what code does in its life cycle, right? That would be already ops. But writing code, use AI, kind of like, because company really, at best, it will complain about some libraries that you used in your code, and you kind of off you go. Everything else is a problem because it's a problem without AI. And now with AI, kind of we don't know what to do with those things that didn't make sense before.
Yep. One other thing from Google, I'm going through this, announcing MCP support services for Google services.
Of course.
Which, it's about time. So it's there. But it's the regular services, Google Maps, BigQuery, GCE, GKE, and those are the 4 that they've got in for now.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting.
I mean, just browsing through it, it seems that it's not simply the typical silly MCP that maps to Google API. It seems that they did additional work there. I'm just judging by scanning through it. Yeah. So that's really cool.
I like the maps one more than anything else. It's like, what should I pack for the weather in Los Angeles this weekend?
Yes.
It's beyond just maps. It's got all the maps, which they have traffic. They have weather impacts. They have everything else.
How much of that is exposed is yet to be seen, but yes.
I know, but yeah. But at least it's easy enough to add in and use.
Yeah.
So that's the upside of, now, you'll have to pay probably for the API calls underneath the hood, but again, different conversation.
I mean, fair enough. It's not a charity. So, yeah.
Wait, Google's not a charity? I didn't know that.
No, who knows?
Okay.
Once back in the day, they were not evil either.
Okay. reInvent was 2 weeks ago. One of the things they brought up is AI agents working autonomously for data. Okay, whatever. AWS announced multi-agent futures, and there was the 3 frontier agents. We talked about this last week: Kiro, AWS Security Agent, and AWS DevOps Agent. Right, the first two, okay, whatever. It was this last one that was making us a little not yet, which is fine. They're not actually live, but they're solving them in silos. People are doing all this. Nobody's talking to each other. Now we've had silos in our companies for centuries, and now we're creating AI to be in a silo, which seems the exact opposite of what we should be doing.
Yeah, but there are benefits to silos. Just to be, I mean, if you do it right, because AWS silos are different than silos in typical company, right? Silos in typical companies, you write code silo, and you can do nothing with that code without figuring out what to do with some other silos. In AWS, a silo is kind of like this team is fully in charge of EC2. Go. Yeah. You're a full product silo.
Well, what this guy's in AX resource, whatever it is, they have something to sell, right? So this is what it is. But here's what AWS isn't addressing: what happens when your Kiro agent, AWS, needs to collaborate with your Claude Code agent, Anthropic, when your Nova Act browser automation, I can't remember where Nova's from, needs to hand off to an in-house LangGraph pipeline. So it's not just it's across all the things, because how many different AI tooling vendors are you using at this point? Probably 2 to 3.
If you would need to choose one of the 3 big hyperscalers who is most into their own ecosystem, I don't care about the rest of the world.
Yeah. But this is just an interesting thought process, which is, in my opinion, what they're doing is they're overlaying, doing silo work to now a global scale, literally a global scale.
Yeah.
But okay. I thought it was an interesting read, regardless. HashiCorp, there we go, is a Kiro Powers launch. So Kiro announced this Powers thing. It was like to me, it's basically, they say, think of it as an alternative to traditional MCP. Okay, well then what is it?
It's a non-traditional MCP.
Thank you. Add specialized context and tools to the Kiro agents on demand. They bundle MCP tools, steering files, and hooks into one installation. Okay, so to me, that almost sounds like what Claude Code is already doing to begin with.
No, the key is in the next paragraph. I'm just
Down
reading
here?
a while ago.
Process
here.
right here. Loads all the tools in the right. That's true. So basically, by doing lazy loading, it's being more efficient.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
That's basically that. We're basically now talking about something similar to Claude Code skills.
Correct. Okay.
Yeah. And also bad MCP designs.
True. One more thing I want to say about HashiCorp, since we're here. I did not get it in. I saw it today. As of 2 days ago, HashiCorp has killed off CDKTF.
Okay, is that the Kubernetes thingy?
That is it was the...
Or is that a different languages for instead of HCL?
Let me go ahead and pull it up. Oh, wrong one. Instead of HCL, yes, but let me.
Okay.
I'll pull it up here real quick. It was archived on the 10th. So basically, Terraform CDK will sunset and be archived on blah. Will no longer maintain. Unfortunately, Terraform CDK did not find a product market fit at scale.
Yeah.
HashiCorp's decided to focus its investments on Terraform and its broader ecosystem.
because those who wanted that, and I'm not now entering discussion whether you should or shouldn't and how many there are, those who wanted that, they switched to Pulumi.
Or if they were on AWS, they maybe have already switched directly over to AWS CDK, which is what we were talking about here. So anyway, is it still being developed? No. Why is it being sunset? We didn't make enough money on it. That's what product market fit at scale.
Fair enough. To be honest, fair enough. If I'm making those decisions and I make decisions for the company and kind of this is a cost, this is not lifting off.
Yeah, I would have done the exact same thing. But anyway, just in case you were using it and you hadn't heard yet, now is the time. All right, let me get back over to here. A couple of announcements from OpenAI this week.
That was going on and off for a while now.
I know. But this one, okay, so it's not OpenAI paying Disney for rights. OpenAI was smart enough to get Disney to pay OpenAI $1 billion so that OpenAI could use Disney's IP.
Yeah.
Genius.
Yeah. It's similar to, how vendors, software vendors, when we say, okay, this is going to cost you $100K, but I'm going to give you for $90K, but you need to give me the rights to show your logo on my website.
Exactly. I guess it's a variation of that. But so it's going to be, but here's a couple things. It's a 3-year deal. You can generate short user prompted that can be viewed and shared by fans. Great. Drawing on more than 200 characters. Disney, Marvel, Pixar, and Star Wars. Interesting. This is the big one. Not that it's big, but it's interesting. Agreement will make a selection of these fan-inspired short-form videos available to stream on Disney+.
Oh, because if TikTok was not motivation big enough...
Now you can go on Disney+.
So I've been seeing Spider-Man all around. Okay, that's...
Yeah. Not only did they make $1 billion equity investment straight up, they also have warrants to purchase more equity.
Yep.
I mean, you think about it, Disney is a technology company at the end of the day.
Oh, and pretty much AI company as well.
Yeah.
We're not a consumer AI company, but they're going for it.
I'm still scratching my head a bit, but I understand it. And then also GPT-5.2 came out yesterday.
Yeah.
Have you played with it at all yet?
No, I mean, there is nothing indicating that I should switch away from Opus.
Yeah.
So, no.
Well, we can see.
It seems to be good. So I haven't tried it. It seems to be good. But simply Anthropic. I'm interested in software engineering first and foremost. Everything else, I don't care.
Yeah.
And Anthropic is still at the top, kind of.
Yeah. Well, it is better at creating spreadsheets and building presentations. And it says writing code. I don't know. I saw it's better at math. So
and that sentence is actually very important because I know that OpenAI, just as others, recognize that right now, software is by far the biggest market commercially. Not in terms of number of users. So there are more GPT users than software engineers, just to be clear. But software is the biggest market for AI right now, for a while now. And if you recognize that and you don't put that as a first word in a sentence, that probably tells you something.
Yeah. If we look below here, NotionBox, Shopify, Zoom observed 5.2 demonstrates a state-of-the-art long horizon reasoning and tool calling performance. Okay, great. Databricks and a few others, exceptional at agentic data science and document analysis task. That's probably out of all these the most interesting to me. But then JetBrains, just listing, and Warp say it delivers state-of-the-art agentic coding performance. Yeah,
cool. Kind of,
so the reason why I give it a little bit, though, is because it's JetBrains and Warp, right? Or especially JetBrains, even more than Warp.
Yeah.
It's like...
Yeah, fair enough. But, And the next announcement will be from, I don't know, from Gemini that will say, their cursor will say that Gemini is, I don't know what, and so on and so forth. If somebody maybe less incentivized would, you know what I would respect? If open code would be on that list, for example. Because they have no strong interests. They're not having deals with model providers and incentives to say random things, right? Because like Warp or Cursor or what was their JetBrains, right? They're giving you usage of models, and for them makes a huge difference whether they're paying this much to Anthropic or that much to, they're paying to everybody. Just let's start with that, right? But then each of those providers they're negotiating special deals, and that's all la la land for me.
Speaking of JetBrains, a handful of announcements this week. There is now a single IntelliJ IDE. There used to be the IntelliJ Ultimate and IntelliJ CE. It's now one install.
Wait, is there no more? I haven't used it for a long time. I remember back in the day, it was kind of, there were like 50 different JetBrains.
And there still are.
Right, kind of like Go and, okay.
Which we're going to talk about. But the IntelliJ idea has basically all of them. Right, it has all the languages in it. But if you want just a single one, we'll get to. But now there's a single download for IntelliJ, but then if you want to turn on the paid features, that's when you turn your subscription on. That way then you have to maintain two different IDEs. Great. I believe it. Goland is out. This was going back to what you were just talking about. I did see one thing in here that was interesting. Bundled Terraform support, I think, was the thing that jumped out at me. Not that it matters, but it was just interesting. It was the early resource, or is this early resource leak detection?
So that's the thing I don't understand about tools like Goland. Now, on a first look, it looks, I write Go, I use Goland. That sounds like a perfect fit, right?
Yeah.
But you can even see from that text that that's not the case because, you need Terraform, or maybe you need Ansible. We don't know. Docker, right? And so on and so forth. And you end up being a ID for everything, where things are disabled or enabled depending on what somebody needs. So I'm not sure I understand why it exists, to be honest.
Yeah. Other than just it was cheaper because the ultimate cost more than the other. Like if you only wanted one of the IDEs, it was cheaper than doing that.
Yeah, but then buy purchase plugins. I don't know whatever whichever way it's organized. Yeah.
Yep. Multi-agent, which we'll get to in just a moment, and then out-of-the-box Terraform support if you needed to do that. But this agent, you can now bring your own AI agent to JetBrains. Remember, they had their, was it Cadona? Not Cadona. I don't remember what the name of it was. I just remember it was a strange. Anyway, now you can bring your own agents to your IDE. But it's also ACP compatible agents, which I remember. Okay, whatever. But it's in beta at this point, so if you're currently using any of the JetBrains IDEs, now is the time to potentially start taking a look at that. And, which is interesting because Block had a quote, and I don't think Zed was in the earlier stuff. Anyway, that's all the JetBrains information for today. Another big one was MinIO has now stopped complete open source development. It's done, gone, forget it.
Hell, nice meeting you.
Yeah, it's all gone. Which they'd already talked about. I mean, this has been going on, but this past week they stopped everything. It's just done. Community support, best effort, done. Okay, a couple of LinkedIn things. Corey Quinn is back again this week. He put his AI on a performance improvement plan. Not even a snicker. Not because it was underperforming, not because it failed to deliver value, because it was starting to look a little too enthusiastic about doing my job. So it's a... and it goes through all the things, but the last line here, if it fails to meet expectations, I'll be forced to take the traditional next step in any corporate performance improvement plan, promote it to a manager. Corey,
I love it.
bravo.
Corey, well done. Well done.
Okay. And of course, I've got all these. I didn't catch them all. Okay. This was also an interesting path. Tell me if this path feels like it's right to you.
Okay.
So a few weeks ago, I told my team that AI needs to do 92% of their work or they'll get left behind. And here's the process they're following. First, he's using ChatGPT. Okay, great. ChatGPT. Pick any of them. Create your master prompt. I'm your role at company type. Create a master prompt for me. Ask me every question you need to give me the most context possible. Spend 30 to 45 minutes or 8 hours answering everything it asks. Save it and then upload it to every new chat so that AI knows your full context. Does that smell right to you?
I'm trying to see where this is going.
Okay.
My brain got a bit fuzzy when I read save the output as PDF.
Yeah, okay, whatever. Markdown is fine too. Just save output. Okay.
Yeah.
Then you build system prompts. Then you use project folders. This is basically following. Okay, I'm going to shortcut it here. This is very similar to what Daniel Miessler is doing. Yes, that's how you say his last name. Miessler, I finally figured it out. On the personal AI infrastructure concept. Right. This is everything to where basically you're building out, and Claude Code is one of the best ways to do it because you've got skills, you've got subagents, you've got commands, whatever it is, to help you do everything. So I thought this was a pretty decent way of how to break down things. But the thing is, use AI to teach you AI. That's the big thing.
That's what I'm afraid, especially juniors will not get. That AI should be used as opportunity to gain the experience you will need to do the real work, rather than using AI to do what you think is the real work and never gain that experience and never moving forward and one day being replaced.
Yeah. So I thought it was a good post. I'm not in agreement with everything, but the basic concept and flow seems right. One last one, as I forgot to close that out. Engineers' time allocation and productivity in software development. This opening sentence: generating code 10 times faster does not mean delivering value 10 times faster. This is what we were talking about. Completely. We won't get into the rest of it, but this is talking about now you're bottlenecked. You've generated it 10 times faster, but you haven't increased where you can test code by 10 times. So now you're bottlenecked on testing. And therefore, the bottleneck keeps on flowing down the pipe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see here. Oh, I have so many this week. I had so many that you can only put 5,000 characters in the YouTube description. It blew past it, so I had to cut some stuff out. All the links are in, though. Let's talk about GitHub Actions. Why not? They've been around since 2018, so they're 7 years old. Here's what's coming in 2026. I couldn't believe it. And they talk about things that have come in this year, but I want to talk about what's coming next year because this first one, support for time zones and schedule jobs and updates to schedule reliability. Oh, finally.
I was not aware that that's not there because my brain could not even contemplate such an option. Okay.
The rest of them I don't care about. It's like cron, you could always put in what the time zone was that you want everything to shift around.
Yeah.
It's like you just couldn't do that in the actions. So now this makes it even better. And there's other stuff too. They're working on parallel steps, which is what people have been waiting on forever. Let's put it this way. Parallel is not as easy as it looks.
Not at all. But that could be the thing I'm missing the most.
Yeah.
In GitHub Actions.
And adding a case function for expressions. That's actually pretty nice too. That'll be nice. But the problem is if your action is that complex, should it be an action or not?
It shouldn't.
Okay.
I have the answer.
Yeah,
shouldn't.
Yeah. Let's put it, if I could fill that in with any CI tool. Jenkins, GitHub Actions, Circle CI, any and all. If you're having to make it that conditional, and if it's conditional around what you're needing to do versus conditional because of infrastructure, two different things.
That's when you think that actually you should write what should be written in code, you should write in YAML or whatever the syntax is.
Don't do it.
No.
Just don't do it.
I mean, shell script is still fine. Not my favorite. I'm not saying write shell scripts, but hey, shell scripts. Nothing wrong with it.
All the
there you go. Anything.
Anything but whatever the thing is. Okay. Here was one thing that I saw interesting. This was from Hugging Face, the model place. We got Claude to fine-tune an open source LLM. Now think about this. You got Claude to take a model and train it with new data.
Yeah. I mean, especially if you're talking about, the more data we talk about, the more benefits you get from AI today.
Yeah. So it's a new tool called Hugging Face Skills. Gee, that's very original there. Not to write training script, but it goes through this whole process, and they break it all the way down. This is a very, 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 very long article. But you have to have Hugging Face per team, write access, and then off you go. Coding agents, take your pick.
Nice.
And they'll walk you through how to do everything. So in case you wanted to try to train a model, fine-tune a model is actually the better way to say it.
I'm not rich enough. I would love to do it, but I don't have enough money.
Okay, let me go to the bottom because this is they talk through the whole thing here, and they give different options to have Claude, they have Gemini. They walk you through all these things. You get like first training run, and they're using Quinn 3 on a really small 0.6 model, right? Here is I'll fine tune it using this data set. Here's the configuration. It'll automatically push. Should I do it? Estimated cost 30 cents. Right. It doesn't have to. Now, big models, different conversation. But if you're creating if you're going to be able to take a small model and massage it in such a way you can use that small model with your stuff, then okay, great. But
I think it's absolutely amazing. It's just that I'm failing to see. I tried to do something similar, but I always think whenever it's some engineering task that I do need a big model because there is a corpus of knowledge needed there. But I can easily imagine many use cases where you simply don't need a big model.
Well, here's just the mapping. So if you can get even under a 7 billion parameter model, it'll cost somewhere between $15 and $40. That's not horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, if you know what you're doing, I mean, it's
not going to be in one go, so you will end up with $1,000, but still, that's perfectly fine.
Okay. A handful of things from LangChain, Deep Agents with Langsmith. This was actually part of, it's from this article. I had them out of order. Actually, no. This is what it is. This is the overview article, which we talk about the other two. Introducing Polly, an AI agent assistant for agent engineering. So you have an AI agent to help with writing agents.
There you go.
Okay. Just like we were talking about earlier, having AI help you write your AI instructions. And then Langsmith Fetch for debugging capabilities. It's a CLI, which to me, that's the most interesting of the two. Observability that fits into every workflow, what it does. 2 core developer. I just ran something, traces, and then bulk export of all your old data.
Yeah.
That's not too bad. So use Langsmith, why is that so hard to say? Fetch to analyze the traces in whatever project. And tell me why the agent failed. Oh, sadly, it's Python. But okay, whatever.
Essentially, there are 2 languages in that area.
Yeah.
With Python by far leading and TypeScript. I dare you to find a third one.
Yep. This was also interesting too. Okay. Securing MCP servers with 1 password. So the whole article is based around using their 1Password CLI instead of hard coding in your tokens, using 1Password to get the token on the fly.
Yeah.
That's what we should be doing.
Yeah. I mean, I'm doing something similar before with Teller now with Vals. Teller is dead.
But this is, pretty straightforward. It'll go into your ENV, and ENV goes into there. That's all fine.
Nice.
And there is what your MCP JSON looks like.
Okay, so it's actually not, you don't do anything with your MCP config. You run some command or whatever that generates environment variables. Yeah. Cool.
Seems reasonable to me.
Yeah.
I found this channel the other day. It is AI Engineer. I haven't even looked to see how old it is. Don't build agents, build skills instead. I haven't watched it yet, but a couple people I talked to that did, this is changing how I'm thinking right now.
Yeah. Yes, it is. I'm still
It depends.
not very positive to it because I use almost exclusively Cloud Code.
Right. Almost.
I'm not sure I want that's the keyword. And I have two serious problems. First, I would like them to start working on some kind of standards so that if I ever go away from Cloud Code, because prompts, I don't care. There now is .code/commands. And okay, I'm going to switch to open code. I will change it to whatever else, and that's fine. Kind of like, I don't expect zero changes. But skills, if they don't get supported by others, means that I'm really stuck.
Yeah.
And
which is why you need MCP for that, right?
But MCP brings me to a more important, for me, not probably for many other people, is that I want to have a distribution of that something. Right? I want to be able to give it to you, Darin. Right? To use it.
Right.
And MCP sounds like simply the only choice right now. Or I'm a company. I want to run it somewhere and then you connect to it. I'm not going to put skills on some server and then, I don't know, mount a volume or what am I going to do, right? Yeah. There's a long way to go. And I'm in favor of Cloud Code giving me any features that enhance my workflow, but not in a permanent way, right? Not in terms of artifacts I produce for my workflow.
Right. So anyway, it's not a very long video. I think it was, 15 minutes. So you don't have to spend all day watching it.
Yeah.
A handful of tools. Phantom, a powerful CI tool for seamless parallel development with Git work trees. Git work trees have been around for how long? Ever?
Long time.
And how often did we use them?
Never.
Until now, right? It's just a matter of
I'm still not using it. I'm still not convinced. I'm pretty sure that they're useful. My brain just never wrapped around it. You know what I do, Darin?
What?
I push changes to the branch and then switch to another one.
The branch. Yeah, that makes sense to me. But anyway, and I saw another one. I'll talk about it next week. That's another work tree because he said he couldn't find any work tree CLIs. And Phantom has only been out for, I don't know, a long time. So I'm not going to say it's good or bad, but it's just what it is. RMRFRS.
Creative.
A powerful file system cleaning tool designed to optimize storage by identifying and removing unnecessary files within known project structures. So what's it going to remove? So there's project types supported here. So let's think Maven and where's Go? Go was there or not there? We'll say JavaScript. No, that's no good either. Anyway, so when you run it, here's an example. It will. Oh, it's all in Rust, by the way. There was an example. Where did I read the example? I don't remember now. anyway, it looks interesting. I haven't tried it yet, obviously, because I can't find the example that I thought I read. Okay. RM, RF, RS. I don't know how you're supposed to say that.
You're not supposed to say.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
It's easier to say powerful file system cleaning tool designed to optimize storage than RMRF RS.
Okay. There you go. Here's something I thought that was interesting. Agent to human agent.
Okay.
So
agent to human. Okay,
human
what does this do?
Okay. So what it does, okay, are you tired of being pinged multiple times, Slack, whatever, by your coworkers, stakeholders for your input and support? Now imagine a world where AI agent is running in the cloud, has your contacts, and can reach out to ask for support. So it's a matter of the agent has gotten to the point of, I don't know what to do. Or I've gotten to the point to where I need a human. So we've talked about, the human interaction. So basically what this allows you to do is to define a series of human contact agents that then the AI agent will reach out to when it can't actually figure out and ask the right person.
Okay.
So here's the sequence diagram for that.
Makes sense.
Which it does, right? It's like, because I don't want it just to sit there and the last thing I want it to do is just to completely give up and it's like, I can't figure it out. When
I still feel that Slack would be a better choice and we can configure who watches that channel, but okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, Slack is one of the things. Again, it can integrate with Slack.
Okay. Nice. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's, I don't remember all the different interactions it's got.
Nice.
They have a fake Slack, but they can actually get interaction with Slack. So to me, that seems more than reasonable.
Oh yeah, I like that actually very much.
It's experimental, and it's also part of the A2A capabilities. It's just extending it to A2H capability.
Yeah.
Because think about it. If your agent got 95% of the way there, and it's like something happened, it's like, I don't want to start that all over again.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
if a person can answer the question that it got and just finish it out.
Yeah. Yeah. Or even a kind of, I could imagine even, I'm not sure how applicable that would be, but even without other people involved. I mean, one could be, hey, I found a problem in production. I need to ping. Who should I ping and stuff like that. But another one would be, hey, we just keep firing stuff and move on to do something else and get somehow notified. Oh, Victor, the thing that you told me half an hour ago, it's done.
Yeah.
Review at your earliest convenience.
Yeah, I think that's great. Okay, a couple more here. Some pulp agencies are a handful. A plug-in marketplace for Claude Code, providing specialized agents for code auditing, research, and multi-model consultation.
Yeah.
So, okay, whatever. Some commands in there. I'm going to say this is Grove, because there's not two O's. So it's not Groove. Collective AI memory for engineering teams. Now, I was scratching my head, and I'm still sort of scratching my head. So every time you start up a new Claude Code session, it re-explores your code base from scratch, reads the same files again, rediscovers patterns you've already established. You burn tokens on redundant exploration. Okay?
Yeah.
So the solution is Grove captures what Claude learns and injects it back into the next session. So real reasoning, not just file lists.
Okay. So kind of like the end of the session becomes beginning of the next session in a way. Okay.
Yeah. So then when you use Claude normally in another terminal, that's it, right? So you have to start up a proxy. So it's capturing, and then off you go. Seems reasonable.
But I mean,
but how long is this going to be?
It does.
Yeah.
Because how is that different from Context Compact?
I don't think it is. Well, because if this has too much context, then you're still going to have the same problem, right?
Yeah, because in both cases, I imagine the only way it could generate the initial context for the next session is by analyzing the existing context of the existing session. which is exactly what compacting is.
Yeah. So
Some work better than others. None of them is really good, but hey.
Yeah, this is interesting here. So here's what gets stored, and here's what will get injected on restart.
Maybe it works better than compact. Then
Maybe. Yeah.
But my brain is still wired that there is, at least in Cloud Code, there is /compact, literally command. You don't need to wait for the,
For the
to reach
garbage
to-
collector to come through. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's not garbage collector.
Does it work? It doesn't. But hey.
DevOps agent. This is not the. Again, this was a new one from somebody, and there hasn't been anything in a couple days. But
Okay.
it was. But the concepts to me seemed reasonable. It's a assistant. It says it has skills. DevOps agent skill. So it's basically goes through all the different things.
Yeah.
Support tool, whatever. The reason why I look at some of these, I don't necessarily bring these up as holding them up as great things, but they're ideas of, okay, this is how this might
inspiration.
work. Or yeah, just use it as inspiration. I think it's good. But what I liked here too is they have the skills and then they have the source, which in fact, let me do this because this is a very poor thing. There's actual project structure once it actually installs. I think he had I guess that was it. I thought I saw a final one to where it was, because when you're using skills, you have the skill and then you can put the source anywhere, but typically it doesn't matter. Anyway, it's weird to have it naked unless they're doing it beyond, because it says Anthropic. So that's not the right place to put, or am I crossing this? No, there's Anthropic.
Yeah.
Anyway, it should be in .cloud.
I mean, since those are skills that works
Yeah.
only with Anthropic agents, period.
Okay. OBOT, which was one of the, I think they weren't in platinum, they were in gold. So they paid 200,000.
Okay, so they're rich.
Well, I think they may have been in the third tier, so 10,000.
Okay.
But still rich. And it's a framework for adopting MCP at enterprise scale. That's not your and my problem, but it's a problem for a lot of people listening. So at least take a look at it if you're trying to solve this problem. MCP scan, not new, been out for a while. You can run MCP scan on your machine and figure out what your MCP tools are doing.
Yeah. Nice.
And you may be sad of what's happening. But it goes through everything and tells you what's going on.
So in other words, don't use this project if you want to continue using your MCP servers.
That might be one way to look at it. Claude did announce integration with Slack this week.
Okay.
But you have to have a paid version of Slack to use it.
Oh, of course you do.
I spent so much time trying to get it to work yesterday, and I finally found, it's not spelled out specifically, but I finally found it that you had to have a paid Slack version. But
It feels like something you can do in a day.
Yeah. Well, the recommendations back were just use your Claude on the web if you're wanting to have a web interface. I'm like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But it's there. Two last tools. Human Layer. Open source IDE that lets you orchestrate AI coding agents. The IDE is actually in terminal, if you will. Again, this is going to be one that you would have to, I haven't tested this one yet, nor have I tested the next one that we're going to look at. But no vibes allowed, solving hard problems in complex code bases. They have the 12-factor agents and AI that works is their thing. This was a talk that you could see, but there is a GitHub project right here. Thank you very much, because I lost where it was. Then I think they had snapshots here, but maybe they didn't because my day is... No, they just have the picture of the hockey stick. Might be something to take a look at, but just something. And then the last one, full disclosure, I know the guy that has written this. He actually lives down the street. Used to work with him, and literally lives down the street, like 5 minutes from my house. We had lunch yesterday. This is Cami. I don't remember why he named it this way. but it creates specialized Claude Code agents from requirements, organizes them, and shares them across your team. So this gets back to, you were talking about sharing skills earlier. Right? The way he's plumbed this up solves that problem. It's a nice little binary to get it set up. I'm going to be working with him on getting some material out beyond this to try to, because they have concepts of agent guilds and whatever that means. So it's like if you're doing a game dev guild, you're going to need these agents, whatever these agents are for your.
Yep.
So that's the way to think about that. And I tried to get your video up, but if I actually your video did not load. Well, it loaded, but I lost your thumbnail. Like GitHub projects are a mess. I thought it was interesting that the things you brought up in this, people just don't know about.
Yeah, it's one of those. Actually, there is a story behind it. I used some of those. I didn't use others. For a project I was working on, I had to use more than what I normally use. So I had to, go back to my previous notes and stuff I did and come up with all those, right? And then okay, so maybe share it, right? Because I do feel that for majority of people, kind of this is, I did not know. I mean, everybody knows some of those, right? But I felt it was nice break from typical subjects.
Yeah, and something we can use, and especially if they make changes in 26, there'll be even more probably to add to it. And I think this last one was this was the CDK TF going away. So we talked a lot today. Didn't show anything. I'm hoping to. So next Friday is going to be the last show of the year? Question mark. Today's the 12th. Yeah, 19th is going to be the last show of the year. We'll take off the week of Christmas, and then we'll come back the Friday after that. Maybe. I haven't decided yet. Because I might still be sleeping. I haven't decided. I'm going to try to have something to show with Cami next week. I've already started building out the notes for next week, and there's already some news that I held off on this week just because we already had way too much. I was bummed that Slack didn't work because I wasted probably 20 minutes trying to get it working. It's like you'd get frustrated because I've wasted 2 or 3 hours on something. Now I get frustrated if I just waste 20 minutes on something.
But, I'm getting less and less interested in small projects because I feel like by the time I find it and figure out what it does and whether I want it, I already wrote that code now with Claude Code and, being faster and stuff like that. So I'm not sure whether other people feel like that, but I feel that we might be having less of those small projects because it's becoming easier and easier just to do what you need.
Yeah. Not vibe coding, but interactive coding without it being a full project, right? There's a continuum of fully spec-driven and vibe. It's somewhere in the middle.
Even in your project, kind of like, before you had, I need this, I need this thingy that does whatever it does. It's going to be 100 lines of code. I don't want to bother with it, right? I find a library, some silly library, Node.js or Go or whatever it is, and I'm finished. But now I feel like, no, I just do it. Kind of write those 100 lines of code, kind of like.
Yeah.
Don't bother even going online finding a solution for that.
Well, maybe spend 2 minutes trying to find a solution and then start writing.
I mean, like I did integration with Slack and kind of like to send my messages with a specific case and kind of like just do it. I don't care. Did I see a test message, hello world, at the end of that process? I did.
It's great. I'm done.
Exactly. Right. I'm done. I don't know. Maybe it did use a library. I don't know. Right?
But we don't care.
Yeah.
Did it work? That's going to be the danger part, I think. Not for stuff like that, for people just using their own software, but enterprises, that will become problematic, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right. We'll be back next Friday. Everybody have a great weekend and talk to you next week.